Hello there, my dear loving souls. Welcome back to part 2 of the video series today on having faith in the universe. Let's just jump straight into the Holy Trinity of love in my world, which is thinking love, speaking love, and doing love, in order to just unpack some of these things about, having faith in the universe as we move, through the lifetime on planet Earth. So, the first thing I want to mention is all about, thinking love, and that's I have found that quite, strongly in my life is that when I review on some past memories or review on some of the things that have occurred in my life, and knowing that I have overcome certain, challenges and obstacles, that gives me faith in the universe and faith in, myself as part of that universe, that everything will be fine and okay going into the future. So if you're finding yourself in like a challenging situation, no matter what it might be, I think it's a helpful exercise sometimes, I think, to think love by kind of connecting with yourself, connecting with the energy field of the universe, and reflecting back upon moments and situations that have played out in the past, as a past memory, and actually understanding that if everything has turned out okay ultimately, and you've overcome a particular situation, and it's very likely that no matter what happens, no matter what's happening right now, whatever other things might present themselves in your life, everything is still going to be okay, because it's part of your pre-birth plan, and it's part of the universal, energetic field, that everything will still be okay and fine. And the thing I want to mention here as well is, from a thinking perspective, I'm a big believer and proponent of a prayer, which is effectively setting an intention to address those who you believe in, be that ancestors if you believe in, loved ones having crossed over and being there for you, your guardian angels, your spirit guides, guardian Asna, planet Gaia, yourself, whoever it is that you believe in, address them. And that could be also in the physical world. You might believe in your loved ones, your support from your mum and dad as an example, or your spouse, as well as, the spiritual realm that I mentioned before. And I do wonder that I do believe that the more you have faith in the universe, in that energetic field that makes up whoever it is that you have absolute trust and belief in, the more likely you are, the more likely the universe, the energy field, will reflect that belief and trust back at you. So the more you pray for something or someone, so you're addressing, as an example, one of your ascended masters, whoever it is that you believe in, the more you connect with them, the more you address them, the more you're saying, yep, I believe in you, I have faith in you, you exist, the more likely it is that you will get signs of that belief reflected back at you, literally in the physical world, as well as, your internal world. You just feel connected, or you feel like something aligns. There's definitely an alignment of truth, of whatever it is that you have faith in. And yeah, as a result of that, hopefully, putting these things together, reviewing, remember, everything, we're living in the now, right? So about reviewing your past memories, having faith that the future will also be fine, enjoying the now and connecting with the universe through an act of prayer, or simply an intention to connect with whoever it is that you have faith in, as within that universe, that energetic field, will help you overcome any obstacles, or simply go through the life journey, right? And move through the variety of life experiences, milestones that you have set out for yourself in your pre-birth plan. Now, if we talk a little bit about speaking love, right, the second phenomenon of the Holy Trinity of love, communication and voice, I think, is actually quite important in this physical reality, because it's bringing all those thoughts that are kind of in the spiritual realm. We can't really physically see them when we're here on planet Earth, but we can give them force through the power of our voice. And so communication is quite important. And so I do believe that you can speak things into existence. So if you haven't tried it already, so an example, you've been praying for something for quite some time, or connecting with whoever it is that you believe in and have faith in, but you're just not seeing the physical manifestation of it just yet, try and experiment with speaking things into existence. So turning your thoughts into words, so speaking them out loud. And that means you're speaking your truth, right? Because you'll be speaking from your heart, you'll be speaking from something that's quite important to you, something that you desire a lot, something that you must be really passionate about, or perhaps desperate. That could also be the case. But speak things into existence, use your voice, communicate, express whatever it is that you want. And ultimately, expression can actually take a variety of forms. So if we jump into doing that, apart from just speaking, expression, can come in a variety of shapes and forms in order to express your faith in the universe, whatever it is that you ultimately believe in. As I mentioned, sometimes it's just the belief in yourself could be sufficient. But if you're one of those who also believes in other spirits, guardian angels, guardian ascended masters, whoever it is, great, fantastic. Express that, speak to them, not just in your mind, but literally out loud, or express yourself otherwise, using art as an example. Great, some paintings, go wild on a canvas. Writing, writing is a big one, journaling, putting some things down and writing, and just kind of communicating through words, by literally physical manifestation of those. Instead of words, you force behind the use of those words, putting force behind the thoughts, you put the force in literally a written form. And ultimately, look, it might be an interesting experiment that you want to give a go, expression of your prayer or your intention, but in a different form, which is a little bit more physical in this lifetime on planet Earth, and then become aware as to how quickly it manifests or come into existence, the response from that energetic field of the universe, to actually help you confirm the fact that the universe does actually exist, and go on to that upward spiral of realizing that because you have had that internal faith in the universe, and you're expressing it through your thoughts, your words, or actions, whatever they might be, the universe will reflect back to you the fact that you're part of that energetic field, and part of the collective, in order to kind of confirm or reconfirm your own belief into the universe. That's right. And the last thing I wanted to mention, really going into the doing love part of the Holy Trinity of love, two things. One is that sometimes you may be going through like a very, very challenging period of your time, the dark night of the soul kind of stuff, where everything may have been taken away from you as a result of a variety of people or challenges or circumstances that have arisen in your life. And just remember that going back to the universal laws we talked about, this could have been predetermined by you, by your own soul, before you even came into this world. Okay, so you may have chosen to go through that life experience, through, hitting the rock bottom, if you will, in order to actually learn from it, to start believing in yourself if you haven't before, to start believing in the universe if you haven't before, and seeing how whatever happens actually happens for your best, because you may have predetermined, you may have already wanted to experience that before you even came into this life. And ultimately, taking yourself out of that mentality that I was speaking about in part one, whereby we think, right, we're just puppets of the life, and if we have this plan, everything just kind of happens for us, and we are, we are the characters that are in the background or the backstage rather than the forefront. Well, that's not quite true, as I mentioned before. We all have a freedom of choice. We are an active participant during this lifetime when we are inhabiting these physical bodies, being the hardware. There's also the software, also our spirit, and ultimately you're an active participant every single day that you're here living in this lifetime, that you have the ability to transform the energy from thinking that you're just a puppet, or like that sometimes victim mentality, or the frame of mind where you think you're on the things just happen to me, to shifting that perspective into faith, into belief, into yourself, into the wider energetic field, into the universe, and realizing that no, I have the freedom of choice to think differently, speak differently, and act differently. And hopefully through the practice of love and listening to your heart, you will be able to overcome whatever it is that you're going through. And I do truly wish you all the very best and sending you love if you are experiencing that in your life at this point in time when you're watching this video. And last thing I wanted to mention is showing gratitude and that soulful appreciation for all that makes up in the universe, including the smallest things and the big things. So going back to my example of giving somebody a glass of water or receiving whatever shape and form love might be, little blessings, you know, chocolates, flowers, and those are big things, you know, having shelter, having children, family and whatnot. Whatever it is that happens and is a blessing, is a positive, it gives you a good vibe feel. It's important to acknowledge it, whether in your mind or through words, and to actually say, thank you, universe, thank you for this, thank you, you know, for being here telling me what the time is, thank you, you know, fire for burning and, you know, sending me a nice scent or showing me a bright spark, whatever it is. Everything, the physical and the spirit, makes up the full energy field, which is the universe, and you're a part of it. So it kind of makes sense that when you appreciate it, when you have that soulful appreciation, once again, the give and receive energy, the more soulful appreciation you actually give out, literally from your heart, from your spirit, the more likely you are to receive it back from the collective. And the more we can get into the habit of becoming aware of blessings and joyful moments in our life, or connections, lovely people, or even words said your way which are just making you feel nice, the more we can be thankful and appreciative for those things, the more we will get them back in our life. And I truly hope that that resonates with you and you find value in that. If so, please put V down in the comments below, or the emoji with the 2 fingers and in the comments below. But otherwise, I think I'll wrap up part 2 there, and we'll jump into part 3, which is messages from the spirit world on this subject matter. Click on the link down below, my dear loving souls, and I'll see you shortly in part 3.